Hello, hello. Test, test. Number one. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Matt Malin. I am the executive and artistic director here at Roulette. I just wanted to say hello and thank you all for being here at this special event tonight. I want to say thank you to George Lewis and the International Contemporary Ensemble and the MacArthur Foundation for making tonight possible. This is really an exciting evening that we get to have such an extended ensemble with International Contemporary Ensemble performing works by Mary Halvorson, George Lewis, and Anthony Braxton. And we have the amazing pleasure of getting all three of them to talk to each other before we start. I wanted to note two special things happening at Roulette right now. One is that next week, this concert is a part of our Music of Anthony Braxton series. We had the honor of honoring Anthony earlier this year at our annual gala. And we have been doing this entire month of November a series called Music of Anthony Braxton. We did the first concert and a workshop last week with the Tricentric Vocal Ensemble and a workshop around language music, one of Anthony's many systems for composition. And then this concert this week, and we have one more concert happening next week. It's a very special performance of Composition 95 for two pianos, performed by Ursula Oppens and Adam Tendler. Ursula premiered the piece back in 1982, and it hasn't been performed in a very long time, so we're so excited to bring it here to Roulette. Opening that concert is Darius Jones and Cecilia Lopez doing Composition 38. So please come out next week. That kicks off the second series in November that are interlocking here at Roulette. We have Music of Anthony Braxton, and then we have Music for Two Pianos. So that's the first night of 4 nights of concerts featuring two piano music. The following night, after Composition 95, we have Sarah Cahill and Joe Kubera doing two piano music by Blue Jean Tyranny and Robert Ashley. The night after that, we have Henry Threadgill's music for two pianos, reimagined pieces of Henry's, and a new piece that has been written for this concert. And then the series ends that Saturday with Jace Clayton's Julius Eastman Memorial Dinner, which is a revamp of his project, Julius Eastman Memorial Depot, which was released by New Amsterdam about a decade ago. All of these concerts are going to be incredible, and I highly recommend coming out. There's a coupon that I want to tell you about, that if you buy 2 tickets or more for any 2 piano concerts, you get 20% off, and the code is 242 pianos. So come talk to me or write that down, and if you go online, you add 2 tickets to any of those shows, you'll get 20% off 2 or more tickets for any of those concerts. The other thing I want to mention just very briefly, and I'm so sorry to be marketing at you, but we've just launched some new memberships. We have a brand new artist membership here at Roulette, which is a discounted membership for anyone who identifies as an artist. It gives you all of the benefits of our gold level membership, and it gives you a discount on our merch. We have some merch this season that's Anthony Braxton merch. Okay. Promotion's over. I just wanted to highlight those. We also have a new senior and student membership for those in our audience who are seniors or students currently, and I highly recommend getting a membership. You get a bunch of free tickets. All workshops are free for members, and it's a great way to support Roulette and everything that we do here. So I'm going to get out of the way now and welcome to the stage George Lewis, Mary Halvorson, and Anthony Braxton. Thank you guys for being here.
Is this on? Wow, thanks everybody for coming, for daring to come. I see a lot of people I know and friends and No, not too many enemies today. It's pretty good and pretty nice. And
I paid all these people.
yeah, you know, I mean, you got one of the first MacArthurs. Probably, you know, there's things sort of like, you know, these things kind of accrue, right? Anyway, I guess this is a big surprise for me too, because originally it was going to be just the two of us, Mary Halvorson and me, and when I came downstairs, and there was Anthony Braxton. My goodness, he says, I want in. So there you go. So that's why we're all here. There's a lot to talk about, and I prepared a lot of stuff, and I had to throw it all away. So basically, this is going to be about 35 minutes of us just, you'll get to hear sort of perspectives from Anthony about two of his students, one sort of official and one kind of unofficial, and perspectives on us about him and maybe about each other. And then Mary, maybe before you could tell us about the pieces that you have composed and that will be International Contemporary Ensemble will be performing. So I wanted to thank the John T. and Catherine D., or is it John D. and Catherine T., I forget which is, the MacArthur Foundation for sponsoring this entire event. And you know, this incredible thing that they've been able to do. So very happy about it. So let me begin. I'm going to do something they do a lot in jazz. I'm going to tell apocryphal stories. And the first one is the first time I saw you, which was in 1972. It was 1971. Already I'm wrong. See, 73 years old, it happens. It was you came to the AACM band rehearsal with your contrabass clarinet. I'd never seen a contrabass clarinet. And I thought, oh, wow, this is amazing. Look at all this. Who is that? Anthony Braxton? He says, yes. And says, well, you know, and Famadou Don Moyer said, well, here's a record. I think you'd like this record. And it was the 3 compositions, the Delmark record, you know, the one N488Z, whatever it is. So I said, and then went to start playing it again. I said, oh, this is the greatest stuff. So I brought that back to Yale as a part of my final 2 years being there, and that was an extraordinary thing. And I didn't see you for a while, and after graduating, I took some jobs. I wrote ad copy for an insurance company. All those horrible things you get in the mail, I used to write those, and even worse, I used to design the brochures. Now that is very bad, and that's what philosophy majors do after college, and then I went with the Count Basie Orchestra, and then I got back, and they called up and said, well, boy, maybe you could come back out again. But by that time, I'd gotten a call from Anthony Braxton who said, we have an emergency gig. I didn't realize that all gigs were emergencies. And the emergency gig was in Boston, which was we just talked about downstairs. And that was first time I got a chance to play with you. But I've been listening, mainlining the Arista records with Kenny Wheeler.
To come and play with you.
I don't know about all that, but it was really something to be able to do that, and you know, it was the beginning of kind of a lifelong friendship, partnership in music. And that's how I started. But I mean, how did you start, Mary?
Well, you know, I got into the guitar when I was about 11, and it was mostly Jimi Hendrix was the main reason. But it was really like a hobby. I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm gonna make a life of music. And then I got to Wesleyan University where this guy was teaching, intending to study biology. And yeah, it's all his fault. Like,
But at least she was able to make money. And I mean, I think the two of you are perfect examples of the kind of masters we have in America. I do not mean to push away other countries, but I really do feel that even in the rough times, like the times we're in right now, we have a lot of positive people who are doing things all over the place. I feel like the creator of the universe has helped me on so many different levels, but certainly the fact that I was lucky enough to meet George Lewis, to meet Mary Halvorson. Our friendship will be together forever. You don't have to be there. I know who you are, and I know how lucky I have been to play music with you. I remember the European tours.
Yeah, it was the first European tour I ever did.
Look, you came in and ran over us with an M1 tank.
Now, that's one thing we haven't had in common, because that was my first European tour, was also with him, 1976, for getting to Germany, which turns out to be a pretty good deal that I'd studied German all those years. I tried it out, I said, Guten Tag. They said, Guten Tag. I said, wow, this stuff works. Boy, it's amazing. So now they let me talk on the radio. I fractured German, it still works. But yes, those were the first times, and it was really great that people liked what we did and got introduced to a lot of, how is it? Well, let me ask you, just backtrack a little bit. Now, here you were in biology class, but what did you do? You took the wrong bus, or how did you get there?
Well, I knew about Anthony beforehand, so I knew that he was there. And I remember I heard a duo record you did with Derek Bailey in high school, live in Victoriaville. Oh. And I loved that record. And so I was already into your music, but I can't say I knew it well. And then when I got there, so I signed up for a couple of your classes. And we were talking about this earlier, but I had no idea what was going on. I felt like the class was being conducted in French. I didn't understand anything. But I was incredibly excited about it. So I took his triaxiom writings out of the Wesleyan Library, and I was trying to read through it, and I was frantically trying to learn how to sight read because his music is crazy. I was 18 trying to look at this stuff. I had no idea what was going on, but I was just I was overcome by it to the point where I dropped all the science classes by the end of the first semester. It's like, I want to figure this out instead.
Another kind of science. It's interesting you talk about the triaxiom writings for people who don't know. As far as I'm aware, Anthony has published at least 8 books. There may be more. The three of them are the triaxiom writings, which I would call more your theoretical, philosophical writings. And a lot of them have these diagrams, which you know pretty well. But you can these diagrams are ways of doing philosophy. It's like if Wittgenstein knew how to draw, and you could see, you see sort of dialectic relationship, and then there are all these tributaries and things. Someone pointed out to me that since you were in Paris in the early 70s, maybe you'd run into Gilles Deleuze, who was also known for his diagrammatics. I don't know whether that's true or not. In any event, we don't need Deleuze to make diagrams. So the thing is that, but the thing is, for me, you used to invite me, you invited me a lot to Woodstock. And the triaxiom writings hadn't been published yet, but you showed me the manuscripts, which were kind of there, and he had all kinds of different, it was all there, and those are the 3 books which I recommend. It's 2,100 pages. That's a good thing to get into. And I kept thinking, what I'd like to have nowadays a computer glossary of the terms, like affinity dynamics. You could click on it, and then it would go right to that space, or something like that. But that will have to be left to a new generation, but someone's going to do that. And the other book that you had that I really liked, you had 2 of them, Texte 1 und 2 of Stockhausen. You had these books. So, and what's going to happen in a future, I think a few days from now, there's going to be this wonderful performance of composition. Is composition for 2 pianos? What's the number? 95? 95 composition for 2 pianos, which I witnessed in performance in Pisa in 1977 with Ursula Oppens and Frederick Shevsky. And, but we were waiting around, Anthony and I were waiting around the Pisa airport, and Ursula turned and said, "That looks like Karl-Heinz Stockhausen." I said, the airport? I said, so we looked at Anthony. Is that Stockhausen? Oh, it is. Well, let's go over and talk to him. So we did. We went over and talked to him. And it was kind of funny because Stockhausen, we sort of pretended not to know who Anthony was, right? It's kind of he said, well, so you say, hey, you say you know my music. Well, what about Momente? Oh, yes, I have this. So-and-so. He said, you have Texte 1 und 2? And he had Texte 1 und 2. I knew it because I'd read them, right? So they went off and started talking. But, for me, having gotten to a certain point of age, I'd look at these things and I think, did that really happen? So last year I was at the Akademie der Künste in Berlin, and Suzanne Stevens came in.
Yes.
And I asked her, I said, this really happened? Oh, yeah, she liked you guys. So it really did happen. So this is one of these things, and that's how I learned about Stockhausen and many other composers, by sort of, being around Anthony, driving the bus, riding in the bus, the buses in Mers, the buses here, that big blue truck you had, all those kinds of things. So I don't know. I mean, you took classes for years, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, this is a different kind of way of taking class. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I was learning from her.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, I had to go to Mademoiselle Halvorson and say, okay, you're going to play this good. I have to do push-ups. I have to go for long walks. I cannot let Mary Halvorson run over me with an M1 tank. Part of my good luck has been that I've been able to meet people like Mary, like George. Suddenly, you're not alone. We're a family. We can meet whenever we decide we're going to meet, but nothing changes. I love these two people, and I love the Central folks who have been working with the music in the same way that we work with our music. By the time I was 18, it had become very clear to me that I wasn't going to make any money, so that wasn't the problem. The problem was how to now, stay with that straight line, because I'm not the kind of guy who wants to go from here to there. I picked exactly what I was interested in. You mentioned Karlheinz Stockhausen. I had everything of Arnold Schoenberg, everything of Stockhausen, everything of Janis Xenakis, everything from John Coltrane, of course, and Charlie Parker. Later, I would go back to the traditional classical musics and check that out. And also, I've become very interested in march music, especially college marching bands. And so I've been videotaping. I have something like 60 videotapes of marching music. I'm really into marching music. And then the people, what is it, Ireland, with the line, and they're dancing.
The Irish sort of step dancing and stuff like that.
Step dancing. Yeah. I didn't really know about that. Yeah. The past 20 years, if not 25 years, have been to start discovering musics that I have not known about, or if I knew about it, it was just kind of, I didn't really know it, but I recognized some aspects of it. But in the last 15, 20 years, I have found that it's healthier for me to not think of myself as a jazz musician or a classical musician or anything like that. Just, I love music. I'm a dedicated student to music. I'm not interested in arriving. My system is about becoming. It's not about you get to X47 and suddenly you don't have to do anything else. And so in this period, we were talking downstairs. One of the things which have really surprised me is there are programs in America, for people sitting down, bringing in people. And what's the name? Her name, Miss Jordan. She was 6 years old when they gave her a chance to come and sing, and she sang Billie Holiday's.
Sheila, right? Sheila Jordan?
No, no, not
Jordan, another Jordan?
Why can't I remember that? This is what happens when you hit 80, more and more.
Happens at 45 too.
And so now I'm checking out the music from young people to see what they're looking at. More and more it feels to me that the popular music world, which is interesting, I've bowed to them, but there's a segment which are starting to look for the composite picture. And for me, the composite picture could not go so far if I was looking at myself as a jazz musician or I'm an African American. I don't have to say I'm an African American. You can look at my skin tone and say, oh, he must be, what, a midget or something? And so the time has gone by very quick. I'm 80 years old. I don't believe that I've arrived so earlier, but at the same time, I get to see George, I get to see Mary. There are men and women all over our country who are fighting for the right to have creative music in a way that makes sense to them. And more, the academic situation is starting to respect the idea of, quote unquote, I don't really know. I don't really know where it's going, but I know I'm going in that direction, but I don't understand it. More and more, in my opinion, many of our young people are slowly understanding that you don't have to pretend you know everything. In fact, if you know everything, you've probably done something wrong. Because in every real discipline, there are things to work on. There are areas where you're stronger and areas where you're not so strong. And I really like that because part of what I'm looking for is, quote unquote, nothing. I'm not interested in nothing, and I'm not interested in something. I'm just interested. And so, you know, here we are, blessed in the fact that we're still here. In the last 2.5 years, I've had COVID-19 3 times, 3 of the variations. That has been complex for me, but more and more, my energy is coming back, and my hope is that I will be able to play the instruments because I still have an affinity with playing the music and looking at different ways to think about acoustic music, that kind of thing. And then suddenly in the mail, a new CD. Who is it by? Oh, it's Mary. I put it on. I was like, ah! So that was when I had to hire professionals to follow you, my dear. So you have to be nice to an old dog.
See, this is, I mean, hearing you talk now, it really brings me back to remembering some of the things I love so much about studying with you. And one of those things is just the positivity and the lack of, you never said, like, this kind of music isn't good. This person isn't good. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it that way. I never heard that once. And hearing you talk now, it's bringing me back to that space of just being so excited about music and about all the possibilities within it, regardless of genre. And those are, to me, still to this day, some of the strongest lessons. And, sadly, I think that's kind of unusual. You don't get that so much when you're a young person studying music, just to have that kind of openness and encouragement, but also not being like, you have to do it my way. You never said that either.
I think
Well,
that
that's
comes
because
from
I
something.
kicked both of you out of my classes.
Well, that's
And I took your money, including the wallets. But you,
no. I was just going to say that a lot of that I think comes from, for me, from when I first came to the AACM in 1971. That was the general attitude. Like, people didn't say, well, here's the right way to do things. And having written a book, my own sort of big, fat academic book on the subject, the research clearly indicated that everyone, you talked about the absence of dogma. I interviewed all these people. I read what everyone wrote. I read all the reviews. And I experienced being there and the absence of just a nurturing atmosphere. People, this sort of thing that I'm sure Anthony presented in his classes, in which you're sort of verifying that. And so for me, that's something I think that comes out of the AACM experience. That's where it first happened to me.
I can relate to what you're saying. And let me also say that you were a guy who influenced me much more than what you might realize. If I had money, of course, I would have gotten with President Trump and have you wiped out completely, unless you came up with some coins.
Yeah, right? Bitcoins, stable coins, meme coins.
After the first class that Mary took of mine at Wesleyan, after that one class, I had to run to keep up with her to see what she's going to do next, because Mary and George are not the kind of people who will sit back and admire some aspect of their work, and maybe next year they might write something else. No, these two, they're always working. George Lewis has so many different languages that he taught himself. I can't believe it. But guess who's catching up with you? Mm-hmm. And studying Japanese in this time period.
Is that what you're doing? Mm-hmm. Who's you?
Yeah, Mary is out.
Great. Wow, wonderful.
I have to pay her to keep her from putting me in jail or something. And plus, thinking about both of you, you people have so much energy, so many ideas. You have a clear heart. You deal with everybody. You respect everybody. I feel like I'm one of the real fortunate guys who were able to meet people like Mary, people like George. We all love music. I remember we went to Darmstadt and we played your composition there. Remember that one?
Yeah, that's right.
That was a great composition. I said, wow.
Donaueschingen.
Donaueschingen.
And you can hear it. It's called Donaueschingen Duo. It's Hat Hut. You played, and you played my pieces before. I mean, you played the other. You said you could. Mary said we were talking. You said you'd heard a duo concert of ours.
That was the one.
That was the one, the Donaueschingen. Yeah, right. And then there's an earlier one which we did at, well, maybe it might have been the same year as at MERS, right? And you played my piece on that. So it was always a very open experience. I could hear my music played by you, and you give these comments and give these wonderful. I mean, I learned so much from that. But I was going to say one thing, and then I'm going to ask you a little bit about your pieces tonight, Mary. I played a lot of duos with Anthony. I mean, we did amazing things, I think. And I was always amazed that he seemed to sort of know what you were thinking. Like he kind of could, how could he do that? Is there a mind meld? Is there some sort of telepathy? I mean, you're playing the music and like he knows what you're going to do and where you're going to go and all that. And I just realized that Then I realized after doing it for a while that I could do this. And it wasn't, I mean, it was great, but that was, what it taught me was that we could all do it, and that we all are doing it. And when you listen to this music tonight, you'll be able to do it too. And it's not some superhuman thing, but it's an aspect of being human that you taught me, which is related to all kinds of things. And later I found out, and some of you might find this controversial, I found out that machines can also do it. So, and that's been going on for the past 40 years where I figured that out. So long before the current AI vogue. But the idea is that it's a question of the information is in the sound. So if you can hear that information, and all of you have done this. For example, you come home, it's a very simple example. You come home, your partner, your loved one, whatever, says, "Well, how's your day?" You say, "Okay." So, okay, the dumb AI machine says, "Oh, he said it was okay." But you hear the sound, right? And the sound is what tells you that it's not okay. And so that's something that we all do. And so that's something that you know how to do as just people in the world. And so, and there's nothing that we're doing here as musicians that you cannot also follow, that you can, and once you do learn it, it gets on a much higher level where you can actually read our minds, because I remember someone sent me this wonderful interview that I did with Amina Claudine Myers for Bomb. And I said, "Well, look, Mina, can you deceive people?" She said, "No, you can't fake the music." You can't do it. So if the music is there, you know who we are and what we believe, and that's not possible for us to hide. And so, in a way, that's a kind of vulnerability, but it's a vulnerability that we all share in different parts of our lives, I think.
One of my hopes is in the coming decades, in the next 10, 20, 30 years, that there will be a new balance where the media can continue to push popular music, which is wonderful most of the time, but the last 10 years, even the last 15 years have been complex for me in the sense of hip-hop and this kind of thing. But my point is we need a social media that will integrate musicians who are working on different kinds of things so that the American people can hear musics that are different from just rock music or jazz musics. Something in the air is changing. I don't quite understand it, but there's a new vibration in town, and I look forward to getting a better understanding of it. We have so many men and women who are super brilliant, who are not afraid to work, and they go about their work. And now we're seeing a new avenue open up, artificial intelligence. Oh, that's going to be great. It's going to be great to have robots who have all of the information, and we're going to be walking around wondering whatever happened to McDonald's. Something is changing, and I'd like to hope that the great masters who have brought us to this point in time will take a good look at artificial intelligence and use it in a way where you won't feel crazy because the robots have more information than you. That's going to be important. For instance, many of you probably are reading in the paper that there seems to be some kind of spaceship that's come into the system, the solar system, And NASA is following, doing everything it can do. This is going to be interesting if it turns out that we're dealing with a new species or new for us to meet a new way of thinking, people who are not from our planet. That's going to be really something. And so my hope is that in the next 30 years, there will be a balance. No one will be surprised that there are great women and great men who can do the job. That's not even the problem. The problem, in my opinion, is we've got people working, doing their best with fresh ideas, but it's hard to get something recorded. Nowadays, everything you have to pay for it yourself. And for the most part, not everyone's even interested to find out where things are going. This attitude has to, in some ways, change. We need to, in my opinion, we need to respect each other more. We need to remember something that we don't talk about that much anymore, like love. Love my neighbors. Love my friends. Look for ways to help one another, to bring things back together. We've got the people who have the talent. That's not the problem. But the challenge, in my opinion, is to drop the lightweight components and work for your neighborhood, work for the dynamics of the systems that you're building. We have got it. We've already got it. The question is to, in my opinion, to move into different communities and work with one another, understanding that whatever you're looking at, there's always another step forward. And I've been blessed in my life because when things got complex for me, I could pull out a Halvorson CD. I could play music with George. We went to Europe together. Everyone said, Braxton, where did you find Halvorson? I said, well, you know, I found her in Iceland. Hooray for the creative of the creator for making it possible to have manifestation, to make it possible to bring in polarities. It's not just about being happy. Show me a person who's always happy, something's wrong. But the creator of the universe uses music. Music is one of the pathways. And the musicians are part of the, I think, or reminds me that the musicians, when they are doing their music, are also opening up things for us. Everything has possibilities, whether you are 8 years old and drive those little toy cars. I mean, you know, nothing is more beautiful than that. And I find myself thinking, I wonder if there's some way to build an orchestra for just young people, since I'm not in academia anymore, to push them forward. Angelina Jordan, that was the lady I was thinking of.
Oh, yes, okay, all right, here we go. Oh, wait a minute now, okay, yeah, right, I remember.
She is outrageous. Yeah. I turned on the television set, and the guys who rate you talked to her a bit, and she was saying, oh, I'm going to sing this song that Billie Holiday sung. I said, wait a minute. She's like 8 years old. And later I discovered other early musics when she was 6. And she was following, oh my God. I Put a Spell on You. Who was the guy who did that? Oh, there you go. There you go. Excuse me for not knowing his name. Even though I'm losing my memory, I shouldn't lose that part of my memory. But I'd like to hope that men and women, city people and country people, whatever, we need to find a way to come in and work with one another. Whatever the vibration is that I'm sensing that's coming towards us, we will need to be prepared for this new cycle that's coming. It could be beautiful, it could not be beautiful, but it could be a good thing if we could rediscover the importance of respecting one another, of looking out for one another, of kicking it about, of not being afraid to say, I know everything, I know everything. I know. You don't know everything. Shut up. I'm the only one who knows everything. And what do I know? I know I'm broke. That's enough. I could go with that.
Well, before we get to the last part, I want to ask you a little bit about that, but about your pieces, Mary. But I wanted to, there's a new book that just came out about you, which we did an interview in Darmstadt, and it's based on stuff that you did at Darmstadt this last year, the Darmstadt Summer Course. And also it has a CD of the creative orchestra music that you did in Darmstadt, where you invited our son, Tadashi Lewis, to play the clarinet.
He did a great job.
He did a pretty good job there. And I'm noticing that Mia Masaoka, his mom, this is our son, and is in the front row there. And it turns out that what this did was, this is probably, I don't know if this is true, this is probably the only, a whole family has played with you. Tadashi did, Mia did, and I did. So this is an incredible thing. And he brought me he brought me the music, and I said, oh yeah, we played this. And it was sort of incredible. So he said, well, I think this is the hardest music I've ever played. And Ilan Vogel said, really? He said, well, it's differently hard, because he'd been playing Liszt and Rachmaninoff and stuff. It's also pretty hard stuff. But the thing is that was such a great experience for him, even though now he's gone off to become an astrophysicist, but it all kind of adds up in the end. So, Mary, I'm going to put on my curatorial artist director hat for a minute as the artistic director of the International Contemporary Ensemble. I'm very happy that we were able to come together to play your music and Anthony's music. That's going to come up in just a moment. And they've asked me to say that this is the last question, and it's a good one, which is what's going to happen when we hear your music, Mary? What are these two pieces?
We were both thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm really happy. This is my first opportunity to do something with International Contemporary Ensemble, although I've been admiring them for a long time. So the first piece is a piece I wrote for string quartet and guitar. And it's on an album I recorded called Belladonna. Actually, the piece is also called Belladonna. And this just grew out of my love for string quartets, and then this was sort of a COVID project where I decided to write some string quartets, and I thought, but wait, this is so fun, I want to write myself into it too. So I decided to add a guitar part. The guitar is also partially improvising on the piece. And then the other piece...
Let me ask you a little bit about that. Now, you're not playing in this piece.
I'm not.
So how do you feel about that?
Great. Dan Lapel is playing guitar, and actually that's the first time, the piece is being played without me. And when I heard the rehearsal yesterday, I was just blown away just to hear an amazing guitar player with a totally different voice than me play this piece was really special for me. So I'm really looking forward to it. And that's been interesting, because it's, you know, I don't do this very often. It's not very often I have my music performed and I'm not a part of it. And so that's been really interesting. And the second piece is a larger piece. I think there's 10 musicians. It's a piece that actually has never been recorded, but has been rearranged and reshuffled a few times for a few different groups of mine. Originally, it was for my octet. I've been playing it recently with my sextet Amaryllis, and then it got rearranged again for International Contemporary Ensemble. So, yeah, it's a different take on it, and they sound amazing, and I'm really excited about it.
That's great. We're all super stoked to be playing your music. It's very exciting for us. And
I'm looking forward to hearing it myself.
And I'm looking forward to hearing your pieces.
I'm sorry, before you can hear my pieces, you have to put out the coins.
I knew that was coming.
I'm trying to get the president to know that I want money.
Yeah. Can I sign up now and pay later?
Well, we're going to wrap it up now. I'd love to take questions from each and every one of you, but they're not going to let me do that. So thank you all. Thank you all very much for listening. Thanks, Mary. Thank you, Anthony.
ready to go. I'm probably gonna hang out. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. Well, if Faye has a bucket with it. You have a box over here. Yeah, I'm like just trying to get this. Secondary material. Right, like I wrote the information is incredibly tiny. Yeah, yeah. Mine is with crayons. Like I. But that's you can see that. Yeah. Sorry, Google. What's that? Oh yeah, let's do it. What? So you want the bottom? Keep it fresh.
I'm just gonna.
Yep. Right.
did it.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
It was amazing. We doubled, guys.
oh my God.
Wow. I used to play like classical music before. Yeah. So beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, wow. Thank you. Wow, thank you. You sound so beautiful, too.